Hey guys, before this video starts, I just want to let you know that Sunday at 6 p.m., which should be tomorrow, You Need a Candles is launching our anthology line. Here's our first one, Where's My Cake from Creepshow. Then we've got, of course, Tide You Over from Creepshow, my favorite segment. Last but certainly not least, Now That's Fluffy. I know that's a fan favorite as well, but don't worry, we did Creepshow 2 as well. We have Old Chief Woodenhead, which smells like sandalwood, and all the smells are listed on our Instagram page, which you should be following. And everybody's favorite, yes, Beechwood and Vetiver. Is that how you say that, Sydney? Anyway, the raft smells great, yellow. And we got candles. We've got the big Tales from the Crypt candle. This one smells incredible. And my favorite horror anthology TV show of all time, in white, Tales from the Dark Side, which smells like black cherry. This one is a must. I'm telling you, don't miss out on this. See you guys Sunday at 6 p.m. on YouNeedItCandles.com.
What is up, people? Troll Pal CHH. We're back again with a massive stack of Blu-rays. Shout out to Walmart. They actually had Iron Maiden shirts. So you saw the promo, You Need a Candles. We got a killer launch this Sunday at 6 p.m. for horror anthologies. So why not look at a stack of horror anthology Blu-rays? See, I'm always trying to theme things out. I'm seriously excited about this. Here's the stack. It's not just Creepshow 1 and 2. Oh, see, there's the stack. So I'm going to show you guys a stack of horror anthology Blu-rays. Let's get started. Let's start out with a bang. Creepshow 3. Creepshow 3 is all the rage. Honestly, it's like every movie nowadays has a fan base. So there's going to be people out there that want this. Now, what this is a Spanish one that I got off Amazon. And my buddy Kyle actually sent me one too. But I don't think I told him that I already had this. But Scream Factory is putting out a limited run of these. Check it out. You might be able to stream this, and if you like it, pick it up on Blu-ray, because it's going to be coming up from Scream Factory. Maybe it'll be a better scan too. Who knows? Coming up next, this is called Chillerama. This wasn't bad. It was pretty modestly budgeted. Adam Green, Joe Lynch, Adam Rifkin, and Tim Sullivan. There were 4 stories in here. I remember liking Joe Lynch as the best, if memory serves. It wasn't bad at all. Pretty modest, but fun. Very Trauma-esque, if memory serves. But really good artwork on that. So, yeah, that's Chillerama. Who put that out? Image Entertainment. So there's that. Coming up next, guys, this one I really recommend. It's called Nightmare Cinema. This was a horror anthology that came out like 3 or 4 years ago. Mick Garris produced it. It's got Joe Dante, Mick Garris, David Slade, Ryuhei Kitamura, and Alejandro Brugues. Really good. I actually thought that Mick had the... Did he do the first one? The first story was the best. I forget who directed what. Of course, Joe Dante had a great one in here too. But there's also Mickey Rourke and the wraparounds on this, which is awesome because I love Mickey Rourke. But yeah, Nightmare Cinema, this kind of was a sleeper. It came out, like I said, 3-4 years ago, and I don't remember a whole lot of people talking about it or really... I did a review for it. But I do enjoy this movie. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times since I bought it, and I highly recommend it. Nightmare Cinema. Really, really fun. Really, really fun. And it looks good on Blu-ray. So definitely check that out. Coming up next, Trilogy of Terror 2. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if memory serves, this was in fact a horror anthology. I saw it right when I got it like 3-4 years ago, but my memory's a little foggy on it, besides the fact that I just remember liking it. Everybody knows and loves Trilogy of Terror. I don't even know if that has a Blu-ray. I have it on DVD because I was like, do I have that on Blu-ray? But I just have that on DVD. But Trilogy of Terror 2 from Kino Lorber does in fact have a Blu-ray, and it looks really good. I'm more interested to see who knows about this and has seen it and likes it. I like it a lot. Trilogy of Terror 2. Definitely check that out. Coming up next, I watched this. This is called Scare Package. This was a Shudder original. And it was a charmer. Little horror anthology with some really gooey blood and gut scenes and stuff like that in there. I liked it. And it also has the Last Drive-In Scare Package episode. So if you haven't seen this, definitely go on Shudder and check it out. But you can definitely pick it up. I think they're doing a second one right now, as a matter of fact. And I think that'll probably get a Blu-ray too. It is great that Shudder's originals are all getting physical media. You know, that I know that means a lot to us. And you're going to see more Shudder, originals in here. Next up, John Carpenter's Body Bags. I love this. This is one of my favorite horror anthologies. The cast is great. All the stories are great. I always pick a different one of which one's my favorite. It used to be the heroine, but I actually really like the first one, now that I think about it. The first one with the girl working at the gas station at night, where Wes Craven shows up looking like a druggie. I love it. But yeah, really fun. Body Bags. I wish I would have ordered that right away. It took me a while to get that one. I don't know why I avoided it. Next up, this is actually a documentary. It's not a horror anthology, but I just figured, what the hell? That way I can talk to people about this. Terror in the Isles is fantastic. It's like an 80s documentary about horror as it was happening, and it's what do you call it? Narrated by Donald Pleasance and he's like in the movie theater talking to you, and it just goes over a bunch of movies. So sometimes when I don't know what to watch, I'll watch Terror in the Isle, and it gets me my fix on everything, just everything. So it's not an anthology, it's really a documentary, but it's a documentary about 80s horror while it was happening. So it's very unique, and Scream Factory put this out. So Terror in the Isles is awesome. I love it. Really love that. Next up, we've got Dead Time Stories. I'm actually not even remotely a fan of this. This was, in fact, a blind buy, and I found this one to be really dreadful. Very, very boring. That's just me. I did find it to be like that, though, and that's just what it is. I just thought of one that I didn't grab. Let me go grab that, and I'll be right back. Of course, I'm talking about Waxwork. I know, how could I forget this? This is the Vestron release of Waxwork 1 and 2, and I like Waxwork 2. Waxwork 1 is one of my all-time favorite 80s movies, without question. And the cool thing is they let you do the artwork for one movie instead of both, and you could swap it and have part 2 on there. Incredible, incredible horror anthology. I love Waxwork. It's passionate. I passionately love it. Coming up next, we just talked about this. I'll be very brief. Two Evil Eyes. This is a dual movie. It's really it was supposed to be more, but it ended up being just two guys, George Romero and Dario Argento. And Dario Argento, I feel, got the better hand on this one, but they're both really good. But awesome. I love Two Evil Eyes. Love it to death. Definitely picked it up from Blue Underground. Coming up next, Stephen King's Cat's Eye. I'm hoping to get this on 4K soon because I love this movie passionately as well. Passionately, damn it. I love this. And then the song at the end, I covered that. I didn't know it was under my spell. I gotta know. Oh, it's such a bop. This is the Steelbook. I love this Steelbook. I got this at I got it at Best Buy. But yeah, Cat's Eye is awesome. It's actually like it's as good as a lot of those 80s horror anthologies. Why it's not like mega popular, I don't know. I think it should be. It's fantastic. Cat's Eye is a must-see. Must-see. Coming up next, we're going out of order, guys, but coming up next, we've got the Great Creepshow 2. This should still be available from Arrow Video. This is the collector's edition that I got right when it came out, around 2017-ish. Actually, no, before that, more like 16. Love Creepshow 2. What else is there to say? It is incredible. I love it. Go to Amazon and get Creepshow 2. And also pick up your wax melts Sunday. Next up, guys, Trick or Treat. Is this going to get a 4K? Who knows? If it doesn't, oh well. If it does, I love this movie. This Scream Factory is really good. And it's got new interviews with Michael Dougherty on it. So, Trick or Treat, I love it. I was super excited when Scream Factory announced this. There's the original art. What do you say about Trick or Treat that hasn't already been said? It's just incredible. Wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. I love that segment. Alright guys, I'm going to breeze through these because these are all part of a series and they're found footage. That's right, you guessed it. VHS, these are all from Magnet, but then they turn into RLJE. So the first three are Magnet. VHS, I would give this one a 7 out of 10. I really like VHS. Very, very original concept. Found footage, anthology. I mean, it's actually pretty brilliant. I would give this one a 9.5 out of 10. VHS 2, incredible. This one actually came with a slip, and I ordered it not long after the pandemic. She might be able to still get one with a slip. Incredible. This is one of the best found footage and anthology films I've ever seen. I mean, the segment at the end, like the cult, oh my god, it kicked my ass. VHS Viral, I would give it a 5 out of 10. I just find it forgettable. Quite frankly, I've seen it twice, and I really don't remember a whole lot from it. You know, if that says anything. But it's not unwatchable. By any stretch, it's not unwatchable. I just think it's the lowest one. This is where Shudder picked things up, VHS 94, and they did a pretty good, I say Shudder did a pretty good job. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. More good than bad. Or not even bad, just more ones that I enjoyed than just were kind of like, this is okay. This one had a really good funeral scene segment that I thought was just remarkable. I loved it. And then this just came out, guys, VHS 99. This is actually the Walmart Steelbook. You can go right now to your Walmart and get this. A VHS 99, I would also give a 6 out of 10. More good than unenjoyable to me. More good than, yeah. I wouldn't even say any of them are unenjoyable. I just think they really get you with the first 2 segments, and then you kind of like burn out. But this one, I'd give it a 6.5 maybe out of 10. I actually would edge it out a little bit more over 94. But if I watch 94 again, I may change my mind. Regardless, it's worthy. It's worthy, and I actually really like the Steelbook. I gave my DVD to my buddy Kalen, but it does come with the Blu-ray and the DVD, so I kept the Blu-ray, gave Kalen the DVD. But I actually really recommend all of the VHS movies. I think they're all really great. Coming up next is, of course, Creepshow. Now, don't sell your Blu-ray if you're going to get the 4K. I mean, because look at this. This is so nice, and I can actually understand if a lot of people probably are just like, I have no desire to upgrade. Release is so nice, and I wouldn't even argue it. I love this release so much, I'll never get rid of it. It's one of the better Scream Factory releases ever done, quite frankly. So, yeah, the Creepshow Blu-ray release from Scream Factory is money, and, you know, it's a shame they're not doing something as nice for the 4K, quite frankly. Well, they are, but you have to buy $130 for just to get new art for a slipcover. Scream Factory, what are you guys doing over there? Like, honestly. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, horror anthologies. I love this movie. Every time I watch it, I like it more and more and more. From the cast to every story being enjoyable for me. Every single one. The Black Cat, Lot 2, what is it? Lot 248? Lot 249, I was one off. The gargoyles at the end are, I mean, just look at that. I don't need to sell this movie. Just look at that. And they live up to the cover. I mean, they look incredible in this movie. So Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, is one of my favorites, if not my favorite horror anthology. Why it's not as popular as Creepshow, I don't know, considering Tales from the Dark Side had a legendary TV show, which we talked about not long ago. I'll pull it out again, from Tales from the Dark Side, the complete series. Love it to death. Get the movie, guys. It's incredible. It's incredible. Next up is Tales from the Hood, the 90s classic, horror anthology classic. I'm with everybody else. This movie is as good as its reputation. I think it's just super enjoyable, and it's unique. You know, it's got like it's a horror anthology in the black culture, and all the stories they have a lot of meaning. And the one that really gets me is the abusive dad. I mean, that one's brutal, but he gets it in the end, and it's remarkable. I love Tales from the Hood. The music is incredible too, and it's got its sense of humor where it needs it, but it's also serious where it needs to be too. So it's really good. Tales from the Hood is awesome. I mean, I'd take a 4K of that, quite frankly. Next up, guys, I don't really recall if these are necessarily really anthology movies, to be honest with you, but when else am I going to talk about these? Both Tales from the Crypt movies. Which one do I like better? That's a good question. I'm in the minority. I like Bordello a little bit better, but it's in my style. It's with the vampires. You got Corey Feldman in there. Chris Sarandon's in here. But Demon Knight is undeniable, and the artwork for Demon Knight, I think, is actually a little bit better too. But these are awesome. Like I said, I don't really recall these being anthologies in the tradition. I think they're really just movies with Tales from the Crypt Keeper around the film somehow. But like I said, when else am I going to talk about these? Definitely get your hands on these. They'll be probably pretty difficult to get with the slip because they've been out for a while. Who knows if they're going to 4K them? But both of them are really good. I actually prefer Bordello a little bit more, but that's just my taste. Coming up next, guys, how about Nightmares? This is a really good horror anthology. One of my favorite segments of all time is in this, and it is actually Lance Henriksen's in this, but it's not my favorite one. My favorite one is the beginning with the girl who's trying to quit smoking, and but she's a chain smoker. She's not trying to quit smoking. That's Cat's Eye. I get a little confused. The husband's like, hey, I'll get you cigarettes tomorrow, don't worry about it. And she's like, no, I need cigarettes now, I'm going to the gas station. But there's a serial killer out, and on the radio it's like, stay inside, lock your doors. That an escaped serial killer broke out of prison, and he's finding people and he's dropping them. And, you know, guess who runs into, you know, the serial killer when she's going to get cigarettes? And it's very suspenseful. I loved it. Nightmares is really good. It's early 80s. It's got a great cast. The only thing hokey about it is the last segment. I don't want to say what it's about, but very, very humble optical effects, if you will. Very, very humble. But it's just momentary, so don't let it really take you away from getting from watching it. Next up, we've got Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror. I remember watching Tales from the Crypt, which I really liked. I don't recall watching Vault of Horror. I got this for the Tales from the Crypt movie on here. And I remember this being actually pretty damn charming. Not incredible, but pretty fun. It's older. I think it's like early 70s. Yeah, 72, I think. But I did enjoy it. And I highly recommend it. I thought of another anthology that I didn't grab. I'll grab it after the next couple. Ghost Story. I learned about this on In Search of Darkness 1. I like this one a lot, so I actually highly recommend this one. This one's a little bit more of a slow burn, and it's more old school, but it's very mood setting and very old school creepy. And the first segment of this one I really like. Look at that thing on the back, but I do really like this a lot, and I highly recommend it. Let me just go grab that other one I thought about. All right, it's From Beyond the Grave. This is the Warner Archive Blu-ray. I really like this one too. It's funny because I've basically said I like all these titles in here, but I didn't like this, but I actually am a big fan of a lot of anthology horror, and this one's great. It's got that 70s flair. It's got Donald Pleasance in it. If you haven't gotten much from the archive collection, this is a great place to start. From Beyond the Grave. Highly recommend this one. Very, very good. Yeah, I love it. And last, but somewhere in the least, but not really, is After Midnight. I watched this one time and wasn't major on it. So don't really go out of your way to get this, but I am due for a revisit, so just know I wasn't a big fan about it. But it wasn't bad. It was late 80s. You know, I don't remember being in love with it. That's all I'll say about After Midnight. There we go, guys. Horror anthologies. I do hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your favorites and which ones you would like to pick up. If you have any questions, please drop it below, and I'll do my best to answer it. I love you guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.